debutantes, Matt with the Gravel Warfare Podcast. We're about to give these tires the boot. Sometimes when the sealant's not working, and the plug's not doing the trick, sometimes you just got to give it the boot. What's that mean? Well, every now and then you hit a sharp rock, you get a little sidewall puncture. It's maybe just a little bit too big for a plug. So you got to give it the boot. We're going to get into our handy dandy repair kit. We're going to need some tire levers, our wolf tooth multi-tool, and a little bit of tape. We're going to start by trying to pop this tire off the bead of the rim. We'll put our lever under there like this. And I just like to take this lever and pull towards me and maybe push away a little bit. Maybe give it another pull. And we want to take this tire all the way off the rim on one side. Now, remember, we got a bunch of sealant in there. So unless you want to get it on your kit, be very, very careful. Now, tire is all the way off on one side. Next thing we've got to do is we've got to get this valve stem out of the way, because we're going to put a tube in here. I'm betting this nut on here is a little bit too tight for your fingers, so we're going to take our wolf tooth plier and we're going to turn that nut so that we can get it off of the valve stem. We'll just set that to the side, and then we want to expose this valve right here. And maybe just take our wolf tooth tool and maybe pop that up where we can get that valve all the way up out of there. There we go, we're out. Now, we got to get the boot and the tube ready. For the boot, I'm just going to take some of this duct tape that I keep on the end of my toothbrush. I'm going to peel this off of here. And I want to get it a little bit longer than the slit in the tire. I'll just rip that off. I'm going to need a few strips. I'm going to get one more strip. That's all I have on there. I'm going to put that just like that, this side on the tube, so my two sticky pieces stick, and that's going to be my boot. Why do we need a boot? If you have a slit that big, your tire is going to protrude out, or your tube rather is going to protrude out when you air it up. So we're going to boot that spot in the tire with this. There's our slit on the inside. We're just going to slip this right in there and get that nice and stuck down right where that's at. And now we got to get our tube ready. going to take this Presta valve, we're going to undo it, and we're just going to inflate it with our mouth just a little bit. Just to give it a little bit of air. We'll take this nut off. We'll move the tire to the side. I'm going to slide the valve stem down in through the hole. We'll put this nut on real loose. Just snug that up around there. And we're going to go ahead and pull the tire up over the tube and just start sticking the tube in all the way around. Notice how I'm holding this up so any sealant that's in the tire just stays right at the bottom. And we're just going to put that all the way around into the tube. We've got it inflated just a little bit so it doesn't pinch when we go to put the tire on. And get it all in the rim. And now we're going to go right back and start at the valve stem, and we're just going to start working the tire back onto the rim. And we come all the way around, and then it gets a little bit tight, so we just have to really work it around. We may have to throw it over our knee a little bit, and look, we popped right on there. Okay, now let's inflate it and make sure that the tube does not come out the hole that's booted. Now, just going to inflate it just like this, just up to our normal pressure. So we just keep pumping it up with our hand pump as high as we want to. We want to get this as close to our preferred pressure as possible, but we want to keep an eye on the booted area. We want to make sure, you can see we're getting pretty full. We want to keep an eye on the booted area. Let's see. There it is. We can see that's gaping open. There's nothing protruding out of there. Now, this is by no means a permanent fix. Let's see. What is that? Right here. It's by no means a permanent fix, but the tube is not protruding out of there. And I have enough pressure that even I could ride this. How far? All the way to the finish line.